So this is my brief look at the election that is taking place on Thursday. It's May the 5th. I spent a little bit of time today with a local parliamentary candidate delivering leaflets, and yeah, it was for Plaid Cymru. And however, this little video log today, political log, really, because I said I'd be doing a couple of these this week, is to explore a few things that I've been thinking of recently. And one critical thing that I feel, looking on everything that happened last September with the Scots referendum, is that politicians in Westminster lie. They convinced the Scottish people that they would have more say over their own affairs, which they clearly haven't. Hence why we've got the resurgent SNP, and there'll be an absolutely amazing result in Scotland. And as I said, I'd give my results, that my prediction are the results that I think people are going to be waking up to on Friday morning. So here we go. So this is the 650 seats. I'm sure it's 651, but anyway. Labour, 275 MPs. Conservative on 270. UKIP on 6. SNP on 58. Green on 2. Plaid Cymru on 4. Northern Ireland on 18, and the Liberal Democrats on 27. Now, one thing that Nick Clegg said today is that there might be another election before the end of the year, and I don't think there will be. In fact, I know there's not going to be another election before the end of the year. You know, it'd be nice to think that there is, but I thought that last time, so there's not going to be another election before the end of the year at all. But I think the belief is, and I feel that this is the smaller parties, excluding the SNP, Plaid Cymru, UKIP, maybe the Greens, and other parties that won't be represented this year in Parliament. I think that this election is part one for them, and this is to build up their votes. It's said that UKIP want to get nearly 200 second places in seats across Britain, and that is to build them up for another election. And not an election in 5 years' time, but an election sooner than that. But it's not going to be before the end of the year. And I feel that Plaid Cymru is doing exactly the same thing, playing exactly the same game. Plaid Cymru won't gain more than 4 seats this time. They'll be lucky to hold on to the 3 that they've got, which is quite strange considering there's me predicting the SNP will get 58 seats. Right, but Plaid Cymru are playing the slow ball game. And it's all based along this. If the Conservatives and the Labour Party with the Liberal Democrats can't do anything significant over the next year, people in their masses will turn to the smaller parties, and that's the game they're playing, and that's what I feel they're playing. I've been involved in politics since 1987, and I've seen political parties come and go. When I was a member of the Liberal Party, then Social Liberal Democrats, then Liberal Democrats, then Liberal, and so on. And so I've seen it all. I've been at the camps. I've seen elections time and time again. I've been involved in so many, and I feel that the long game is being played by the small parties because the old dominance of the older parties. This is the end of it. You know, they can't take people's votes for granted. Anyway, just a few things about what I feel personally. Is that on a conservation level, I feel that in this election, the natural environment, the natural landscape has been completely ignored. It's almost as if we can keep on consuming Earth's resources and not make it a political issue. The Green Party's just laid down and said that we can have nuclear power stations and all that rubbish. So there's nobody actually fighting the ecology corner in this election. It is a saying that can be said that nobody's fighting the corner for people under 25, people under 30, which is clear. It's not being mentioned at all. And my thought with this is that we should now see that the root cause to the Earth's problems is in fact human population. Human population will increase even if we do something about immigration or not. Even if we put the barriers up on our borders, human populations will still increase. And that is the problem. That is the core of the problem. That's the core of the problem with the natural environment. I don't believe that we should be exploring in the Antarctic or the Arctic for oil. I think we should just leave those areas. They should be human-free zones. I don't think we should have scientists there at all. I think many of the tropical rainforests, we should just leave them be. They are natural habitats. We have no right as human beings to interfere or do anything. They're natural zones. Respect nature, and nature will respect us. We need nature more than nature needs us. In fact, nature doesn't need us at all. But I feel that we need to sort our own house in order. We need to deal with that problem of human populations, and then immigration will sort itself out. And then we won't need to build any more houses because we've got enough houses, and so on and so on. And that's what we've got to be thinking about, the key to the problem. And it's the old adage, isn't it, that the core problem is something that's looking you in your face. Okay, the problem to poverty in this country is human population. It all comes down to human population. You solve that, then you won't have a problem with immigration because people will be settled where they are, okay, and so on and so on. That's a bit of a, some people aren't happy where they are, but what I'm trying to say is that stability, the equilibrium will come back. We can't keep taking more and more from this earth. We should leave the earth alone, and we should deal with ourselves as human beings. Because if we don't, Mother Nature will do it for us. My grandmother used to say many years ago that this planet needs a good disease to get rid of the surplus population. That's what my grandmother used to say, not me, my grandmother. I never worked that out for years. I could never work it out. And there's me studying plagues and cholera, with my archaeology teaching still. And I'm not going to say on this video log that I agree with what my grandmother said years ago. But what I will say is that the point she could see human populations increasing, that was their only answer. And that's Mother Nature's answer. A disease. But if we can sort this out as human beings, we won't need to have a disease to get rid of the surplus population. And one other thing I want to put across is that last year I was really, one minute I was anti Scotland being independent. It was nothing to do with me. And the next minute I was for. Now I'm completely for Scottish independence. But on another issue, which will probably annoy some people watching my videos, is that Wales should never become independent, even though there I am helping the local party Plaid today and past a few days earlier and whatever, and I did the other day as well. Because the Welsh people are cowards. The Welsh people roll over. The Welsh people don't fight their corner. They're too weak. I can say that as a Welshman. I feel that Wales is a part of England. I used to be a fervent Welsh nationalist, and I'm saying that because Wales lost its way when Wales was involved in a referendum in 1997. I was involved in it. Only 50% of the Welsh people came out to vote. 50%. And the rest of the 50% of the Welsh people couldn't care. They didn't care about Wales. That was clear. Just over 25% of the Welsh population voted for a Welsh Assembly, and just slightly under 25% of the Welsh population voted no. Back again, 50% of the Welsh population didn't care about a Welsh Assembly. They didn't care about independence or anything like that. So that tells me that Wales has a long way to go before it can ever think like the Scots, can ever dare to think like the Scots, because we're so backwards in Wales. Our economy is at its knees. We've got some of the lowest levels of health in Britain. We've got some of the massive lowest levels of investment in Britain. We've got massive unemployment in areas, and Wales is in a right state. I don't feel Wales should ever become independent. I feel we're a part of England, we're part of Britain, and we've got to live and like it. And as somebody said to me the other day, she said, well, why doesn't Wales just get over itself? Why doesn't Wales sort of have a political party, like the Party of Wales, that's in fact a party for England and Wales, which would be something that the SNP could have thought about many years ago. But at Scotland, the SNP will become independent, probably in the next 5 years, and that's my prediction. And they deserve it. The Scots deserve that independence now. I've no right to say that, but I've got every right to say that they've come a long way, and that'll be very important one day for the Scots to become independent. And then Wales can look on and think, well, if the Welsh people had the guts, we could have done this. But you don't see nationalism in Wales or independence in Wales like the Scottish nationalists. You don't see that pride in our land. Wales, we invented the Eisteddfod. We invented silly little stories about Gorsedd and all the rest of it that didn't exist. But Scotland's got a real history. It's got a real background. But in Wales we've got nothing because we've lost it all. We threw it all away. Anyway, that's my political speech. Some of you are going to hate it. Some of you are going to like it. Anyway, thank you very much.